Hi there, my name's Elizabeth and I like to sew smart, and my Sew Smart project for today is a children's tissue box cover for their bedroom or their bathroom. With the COVID crisis, I thought it would be nice to make something fun for children to make them pay attention more to hygiene, and so I decided I would make a tissue box cover that they can use in their bedroom or their bathroom, as I said earlier, and it's going to be a real fun fabric. Here I've got two pieces of fabric. I've got one that has nice dinosaurs on, and I've got a plain green homespun fabric and very thin wadding. You will need 3 pieces, and if you've got a piece of top fabric that's got a one-way design, you've got to remember that when the sides of your tissue box cover come up, you need it to be going the right way on both sides of the box. So what you will do, if you've got a one-way fabric and you particularly like that fabric, you will have to cut it in half and then join it opposite way round, just with a nice generous 1/4 inch seam. I would say that that's more 3/8 than 1/4, but just join it so that when you turn it over, both sides, when they come up, they will be the right way up. Today I'm using a large family size box of tissues, and for this you will need 3 pieces of fabric, well, 2 pieces of fabric and a piece of wadding, I should say. So I've got my top fabric, which I just showed you I had cut in half because it's got a one-way design. I've got that, I've got my lining fabric and my wadding, thin wadding, which you'll see if you can come in a little bit closer. I have actually used scrap wadding and I have joined it, just zigzagged it together. So all 3 pieces must measure 21 inches by 18 inches, which is 53.3 centimeters by 45.7 centimeters. So when you've cut your 21 inch by 18 inch pieces out, you're then going to have to cut, you will do it for the wadding as well incidentally, you're going to have to cut out the corners of each of your pieces. Now to do this, it will end up like a long sort of cross. To do this, I use my square ruler and I put it on with a 1 inch square in the corner there, and it is 3.5 inches on the short end, 3.5 inches in, and 7.5 inches on the long side. And you will draw that with your friction pen, which you know will iron off later if you need to, but you're actually going to cut these pieces out on all 3 layers. So you will need 1 on each corner. You'll cut out 1 on each corner of all 3 pieces. So I've cut out my 4 corners and I have got my seam. I actually had to turn my fabric round. I had the seam going across that way. I had to cut it the other way because you want the seam coming up the short end of the box, not the long side. So I put the right sides together, put them down, wadding underneath, and I pin all the way round, leaving open. I'll stitch across the short end and leave, I'll mark this with my friction pen, leave the 2 long ends open. You're going to trim those back when you've finished, before the binding goes on, when you've turned it inside out. So all the way along, start at one long end, come down across the short end on both sides. I've stitched along the long edges and turned my work to the right side. I've also used a decorative stitch to quilt. Now I've quilted halfway across the long side and then approximately 1.25 inches from either side there. I'll turn it over so you can see it better on the lining. That will hold it nice and firm together. Don't worry about these little pieces in the corner because you're going to stitch over them. So the next step, when you've done that, is you'll cut from your 2.5 inch strip of lining, you will cut 2 pieces, and they need to be just a little bit longer than your long side. So because you're going to tuck them in when you bind, so that will make it even neater still. So measure your work across the long side, because sometimes my 1/4 inch stitch might not be quite the same as yours, so just always measure it. Cut your binding just a little bit longer than you need so you can tuck it in nicely. That's the next step. And then after that we're going to make the tabs that will fasten the box. When the box comes up, we're going to make the tags that will fasten either side. But before we put the tags on, we will trim this back from outside, that's the long edge, from outside 1 3/4 inches, and trim that off at 1 3/4 inches on both sides. Just to clarify the last piece before I put my binding on, I did trim the 1 3/4 off of the long edge before I put the binding on. And if you're not sure how to put binding on, you can refer to my handy hint on YouTube. It gets a nice stitch on the back and a nice stitch on the top as well, and it's very, very easy to follow. So the only thing now that remains, I'll have to give that a press in a minute, but the only thing that remains to do now is to put the tabs on. Now the tabs are made, this is one that I have actually made. The tabs are made with a buttonhole in, and one will go under that edge and the other one will go under this top edge. Each goes on a separate side. You can use whichever side of fabric you want. To make the tabs, you had your 3.5 inch by 7.5 inch corner pieces, and they're 3.5 inches by 2 inches you will cut for the tab. So you'll need 2 of the top fabric, 2 of the lining, and 2 of the wadding. Plus you will need 2 buttons, not too big, about 3/4 inch. I've placed the lining 3.5 by 2 inch, if I can separate it here. The top fabric, right sides together, and the wadding underneath, just like you did for the main body. And I'm going to stitch a 1/4 inch stitch down 3 sides, back stitch when you start and finish. Just clip the corners off and turn it to the right side. So I've turned it to the right side, and I've marked where I want my buttonhole to go. Now I'm going to show you how I do my button, because I have a buttonhole foot on my Janome, and it's really, really easy to do. And I'll just show you now how to put the buttonhole on this little tab. This is my buttonholer, and I've fitted my button into the spring clip at the back here. So I'll attach that now. To my machine. It's now attached. Remember to bring down the bar at the back. And what I'll do is I will start off my buttonhole. I'm going to start at the base of it's approximately 1 inch that I'm using for a 3/4 inch button. So I've positioned the line where I want it. I'm going to start stitching at the very bottom. So I'll put that under. And I'll start stitching there. So I've chosen a normal buttonhole, just square, and here I go. I've removed my little tab from the machine and just tidied my thread up. Now to make the hole inside the buttonhole that actually makes it, I need to put my unpicker through the free fabrics and just push it gently to the end. a bit further. I'll turn it round so I can do it from the other side. You can do it with very sharp little scissors if you prefer. I have got some smaller scissors. Now there's threads, as you can see, so I just snip off any loose threads so that you're left with a nice neat buttonhole. And that buttonhole, you can take the extra thread off. That buttonhole now will fit that button really well. It pops straight through. I've cut a little bit off the end of my tab, just a little bit, and I've neatened it with just overlocked that piece, and I've marked a chalk line 2 inches from the outside of my tab. Now that chalk line is going to sit under the edge, the top edge of my binding, and I'm going to top stitch, catching that in underneath. I'm just going to top stitch along there to secure it. I'm going to do that on this side and on this other top side as well. There's my chalk line. I'm going to line it up with this outer edge, stitch along that original stitch line of binding and secure them both. And then we're going to come back and I'll show you how to fix the corners. Both the tabs are stitched on both corners. You can stitch this little piece down by hand if you like, and you can also just neaten up, just pop the little bits in there and hand stitch down there to secure it and make it look even neater. Now to box your corners, all you have to do is, I'll start with this corner, you just pull up from the corner on the to the long side and pin a generous 1/4 inch on each corner. I'll do it on these two so that you can actually see. As I said, quite a generous 1/4 inch, right down to the bottom. And because you've turned it inside out, you've got no raw edges, which is very useful because the boxes of Kleenex always rub against the corners and things, and you'll do that. Now that's inside out, but as you can see, when you turn it right side out, you'll have a nice square corner. I've turned my lining to the inside, my corners are all nicely stitched up. I'll just put my box of tissues in and fasten the buttons. You can make the buttons as tight as you would like, and there is your finished tissue box, all ready for use. This pattern with all the diagrams and everything you need to know is in my Etsy shop, so visit my Etsy shop. And if you really have enjoyed this video, give us a thumbs up and subscribe, and I'll see you again soon.